Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for such a lovely introduction. So, I'm Pratik Gandhi. I'm an actor, an engineer, diploma in mechanicals, B in production. Have worked in the industry for almost 14 years as an engineer. I do practice martial arts. I do play tabla. I like playing djembe. I practice dance. I do a lot of theater. Theater is my first love. And all of these things that I do is out of sheer passion. So one term that I've heard all my life from all my friends, family, and all the well-wishers is that you are suffering from multiple passion disorder. And so, I kept hearing this for the longest time in my life. And as we are all taught, as child, that be a master of one. Don't try to be jack of all. Don't follow so many things that you get lost in between, in the transition. So you can't concentrate. If you do multiple things, then you can't give your 100% to any of these things, is what we were taught largely. With a lot of love and care for us, with a lot of, actually they were all very, very, very attached to us, that they never wanted us to fail. So whoever told us this, they were right in their own context. But I caught up to this multiple passion disorder early on in life, at an early stage, and thanks to my school that I was studying in. So my school name was Pravrutti Vidyalay, which is, if you translate in English, it is the School of Activity, which is there in Surat. And I'm talking about 85, 86 when I joined the school, and that was the first batch of the school. So that was the only kind, only of its kind in the whole of country is what we were told then. So apart from 5 regular subjects, we were taught practically and theoretically other subjects like farming, carpentry, bamboo sculpting, music, gymnastics, sewing, and we also used to use charkha to make the thread out of cotton. So all these things were part of regular courses where we had to appear for written exams also and practical exams also. So school had its own farm where we used to go and do farming. So whatever that we used to grow, we were asked to take home. So kabhi neem, kabhi tomato, all these things that we used to take home. And we used to write theory on the same, that how these things are getting cultivated, what farming is all about, how to take care of the soil. So all these things kept happening, and I had no clue where am I going in life. Because all other friends, those who were there in my society, all other friends, those who were studying in other schools, they were studying these 5 subjects strictly. Exams, they used to top. I never topped any of the exams though. I was always in first 10, first 20, first 50, so that's how it happened. Apart from that, school used to have lots and lots of competitions, be it sports, drama, cultural competitions. And I don't know what went wrong with me per se, that I used to participate in all the competitions. And I never won any prize. So that motivated me more to participate next time again. And once somewhere I heard somebody saying that it's a partiality, that I didn't get a prize because I was better than that kid and all. I didn't even know the meaning of partiality though. So I just used the same term at home, and I spoke to my father that it's a partiality, but otherwise I was the best, I think. And he just said one sentence that changed my life and the perspective of my life. He said that if you have lost by a centimeter, that's your fault. If you win by a mile, nobody can do any partiality with you. So that's up to you how you win and how you want to win. So you create that mile for yourself so that even if somebody wants to do something, nobody can do anything. And that changed the perspective of life. Other thing is what I was told is, see, whatever we do out of fear or out of love. Now this thing sounds very, very bookish, very orthodox. But when I started practicing in my life, I saw the difference. A lot of people, I have to go to the office because if I don't go to the office, I lose my job. I have to go to the office because I want to finish this project because I love this project. Now there's a difference of thought process altogether. I have to go to the school because otherwise teacher will scold me. I have to go to the school because I don't want to miss this and I want to learn more. Everything that I did with passion, and passion is love, is what we are told. So I kept doing multiple things. After my diploma engineering, I picked up a job as a sales executive in a firm that used to sell energy conservation products. And at the same time, I picked up theater also, because I used to do a lot of theaters in school, and I always was inclined towards theater. Being on stage, performing, creating different characters was almost a second nature to me. So along with the theater, I kept doing this job for almost 11, 12 months. And then, because in Gujarat, there was a system where, you can't get direct admission from diploma to degree. During my time, there were only 2 seats for the toppers who could get admission from diploma to degree. And I was obviously not amongst the first 2. So I didn't get that chance. I had to work. And then I came to know that Maharashtra has this facility where I can go and study further. So I took up admission in North Maharashtra University, and I completed my graduation in industrial engineering. So when I started that job, I had no clue that what am I gaining through this? Because I was just 19 and a half or 20 years old when I was just out of diploma. That job gave me a lot of things, which I realized later that, as an engineer, we know the concepts. But the moment you have to go out and speak to somebody with confidence and sell somebody that he might not even want it. So that confidence is what I got through my first job of marketing. And a lot of people would tell you that marketing should be a first job. That teaches you everything about life and the world. So that happened to me automatically. After graduation, I wanted to pursue my engineering and acting both together. That was the weirdest thought that I had, as per my friends and family, that you can't do 2 things together. And I said, okay, let me not speak to anybody, but just go and explore this for myself. So if I fail, I just have to talk to myself and not to anybody else. I came to Bombay in 2004 and started working in theater and started searching for the job, because theater, as I don't know how many of you are aware about theater circuit, that the experimental theater can give you experience, can teach you, but it can't give you money to survive in the city like Mumbai. And as I came from Surat without any resources or without any backup that way, because I come from families of teachers, and teachers, so though we are Gujaratis, and nobody in our family did any business, and that happens. We were all teachers and all into service. So that's how it happened. I came here and immediately I started giving a lot of auditions and failed everywhere, because I thought television was blooming that time, and I thought I'll get something immediately in television, and nothing happened then. But theater happened, and I did almost everything around theater, be it plays, be it play reading, be it poetry recitation, be it book launch, performing at some small functions. And there was a lull time where, I didn't have play, I didn't have a project, because earlier I was a consultant engineer with National Productivity Council. So we used to work on the projects of manpower planning, process design, productivity improvements and all. So there was a time where I didn't have a project, I didn't have a play, so there was no income. And then to survive in Mumbai, paying your rents and paying your costs, everyday costs, was difficult. So a cousin of mine used to run a company called Party Planet. And she offered that one of my compares at a birthday party of a kid can't make it to the show because he just met with an accident. Can you just go and handle the show? And I said, I don't know how to compare a birthday party. I don't know which games to be played there. I don't know how to hold this audience, and that to young kids. So she just explained me. I still remember I got into the rickshaw from Parla East to Goregaon. And during that time, she explained me on the phone that these are the 5 games that you make them play. And as you rightly just said, that once you go on stage, you are told that handle it for 30 minutes. So I was prepared for 45 minutes before the cake cutting session. And I had 4 games. So she said, just make 5 rounds of each game, and that will help you till 40-45 minutes. By that time, cake cutting will happen and you are done. The first show ever. I've studied in Gujarati medium all my life. Only English happened in my life because of engineering. So that's a technical English that I know, not a conversational English that I knew. And this was the show that I had to host in English. So that was another jitter with me that how will I handle, I just don't know. Because whatever conversational English that I learned or I practiced was during my first job of marketing in Surat. I went to the show, I started making them play games, and because I was so nervous that I finished all the 4 games in just 12 minutes. I thought that will help, crowd gets more energized and they'll get more involved. So next, and 12 minutes and I'm done. And I thought I've been playing this from last 50 minutes. I spoke to the client that now, sir, cake cutting time? And he said, no, we just started. I was about to tell you that cake cutting is delayed. So you just handle them for another 50, 60 minutes. And I had no clue what to do. So thanks to my school, thanks to my theater, thanks to the competitions that I participated and I failed, that instantly just came to my mind that let me try something else, and I started making them dance. They danced for 7-8 minutes and they were all tired. So now I had no option but to dance myself and ask them to copy me. So I invented a round called Copy Me Round, that all the copycats will get prizes. Because then by that time the father of the birthday boy gave me a bag full of gifts, return gifts. He said, whoever performs better in the games, just give away the gifts. But I was done with the games already. So then I started this Copy Me Round and I made them dance for almost 45 minutes. They didn't realize, I didn't realize, we kept dancing. And I was really scared. I don't know what will the client tell to my cousin who owns the company. And I don't know where is it going, but I just somehow managed the show. Next day my cousin called me and she said that, what did you do in the show? I said, I tried. I told you I can't handle the show. She said, no, the client wants you again for her second birthday party. And there are 5 inquiries from the same show. And I was just thinking, how did it happen? So what worked is the last round that I did, Copy Me Round. Because the parents and the kids, they all enjoyed dancing with me, which I was scared on. And that happened. Now here I started thinking that how can it happen? It can't be sheer coincidence. Or it just can't be sheer luck. So whatever that I did, and I kept failing, suddenly helped me. Whatever I did out of passion suddenly helped me manage this situation. So here now there was a time where I had to decide on 2 things. I was getting a full-fledged job, corporate job. And at the same time I had a good play which was running. Now I had to choose between these 2. And I chose both of them. So that was a huge problem because my cousin who was supporting me here, he said that it's the most foolish thing to do in your life because you are a first-class engineer. You're getting a job. There is a good chance that you might get posted abroad also. So you just concentrate there and make your career. Have you ever seen any small-time actor coming from another city to Bombay and making it big? And we started counting and we just had 2-3 names. So he said, just through 3 out of millions. So look at the probability and possibilities. I had no answer to this, but I wanted to do 2 things together. So I just pursued 2 things together for almost 13 years. I kept doing it. At one point, I was almost homeless. We were expecting a kid in the house. I was married. My parents were here. We were staying in a small 1-room kitchen apartment in Parla, and I was offered my first Gujarati film, Bayar. Now that was a time when the company that I was working in, they were into setting up cement plants. And I was responsible for the manpower planning and the process design. So right from the beginning I was involved. Now this was the time where I was offered the film and the plant was getting commissioned. So out of the corporate office now I was required to be at site at Nagpur. And this was the time where I had to speak to my CEO and apply for the leave. That I just wanted 21 days leave to finish this film. And I'll manage the plant remotely. If required, I'll go there. Somehow they agreed, I convinced them, and I went and shot the film in 21 days. This was my first Gujarati film. Now, this was a time where Gujarati films were just not doing good. Nobody was interested in watching Gujarati films, especially the youth, because they had no connection whatsoever to the kind of storytelling that was happening then. So 2012, this film happened, and it changed a lot of things in my life also and the whole phase of Gujarati film industry, because that was the first film that got entry in multiplexes. So Bayar became a super duper hit is what I was told, because I was back in the office working on PPTs and making multiple versions of the same PPTs. When the whole cast and crew, they were enjoying the success of the film on ground, and they told me that this is working very well. So my writers and my producers and directors said that now I think you should leave your job. But I did not have that much confidence because the way this industry works, the entertainment industry works, it is highly unorganized, and you're working with a lot of variables. So it will never happen that one success can serve you for the life. And I had to manage in this kind of variable situations, where now I had a full-fledged family here, without a house in Bombay. So I continued for 3 more years. I was offered a lot of films, but I could not take up because I had a full-fledged job. After 1.5 years, I was offered Wrong Side Raju. Again, I took leave of 25 days, went and finished the film, because by that time, the corporate had this culture that employees would take annual leave of 20-25 days, and they would either go abroad, they would do whatever, pursue whatever they want. So that helped me. And I finished Wrong Side Raju. Wrong Side Raju won the national award. And that was a time in 2016 when this multiple passion disorder slowly started getting converted to multiple passion order. And all the fruits worked for me, because the film won national award, I won a lot of accolades, and that was a time where I decided that I'll plunge full time into this, and now I'll take engineering and my innovative side as a second try to me. So I plunged into it, full-time actor, and exactly after 1.5 years, scam happened, and scam did what it did to me and to all of us who were involved in this, because scam generally changes the life, is what I heard. This is what I experienced for the first time. And all this while I kept taking these risks, which people said, and after scam I realized that risk hai to ishq hai, which I had no clue, it just happened to me. So as I say, concept to conclusion, the concept was multiple passion. Order or disorder, I had no clue about it, but I was constantly driven by passion, and I kept doing multiple things. The conclusion is that being master of one, being jack of all, I don't think anything of these matters. What matters is be a practitioner by heart. Practice whatever that you want to, and that's where the magic happens, is what we just learned, we just heard. So the magic is within. Keep doing it, because there are no standard rules for anything, and success cannot be defined by any one way, because what works for me might not work for anybody else, and what has not worked for him might work for me. So whatever examples that I counted that time, that how many actors have come, each train that stops at Borivali or Dadar, almost 1,000 or lakhs of actors would come out of the train, and how many of them can make it? But if I count that, it is absolutely demotivating. What I can do is only I can do, and what I can't do, maybe somebody else can do. So there is space for everything. So just believe in the magic, and that's the conclusion that I would want to end at, that whatever you do, do with your full heart. Thank you, guys.